Hey guys, nintendoboy17 here with a brand new review. It is for Rayman Origins for the Nintendo Wii. It's also on PlayStation 3, 360, PC, Vita, and 3DS. The storyline has Rayman, Globox, the Nymphs of the Glade, and the Electoons getting captured by the Nightmares after loud noises were being made disturbing the people in the land of the living dead. Rayman's crew ends up breaking out of jail and sets off on a journey to rescue the Electoons and the Nymphs in order to save the Glade of Dreams. Like most every other platformer, nothing else to really note about it. It's very simplistic storyline, so moving on. Origins takes Rayman back to his 2D platform roots, which goes as far back to the original on the PlayStation, PC, and Atari Jaguar, which also got ported to the DSiWare. However, the art style in Origins uses a more hand-drawn look to it, and on the standard definition console known as the Wii, it still looks great and holds its own quite well with its nice use of colors, going as far as adding background details like sunlight through the clouds or holes and caves. True, it doesn't look as detailed as the HD versions, nor is the animation as fluid, but it still looks and runs great enough as it is, so no complaints there. As for the platforming itself, you're in for a challenge, as the game is hard. Granted, the game is generous enough to give you unlimited lives, but still. A lot of the obstacles will have you on your feet, like jumping while wall running numerous times, avoiding sudden death, or running as fast as you can, avoiding many obstacles in your path while chasing a treasure chest. Even the end boss battles can be just as tough, though there will be times where the players will enter a 2D side-scrolling stage where Rayman and company will ride on mosquitoes, shooting anything they can while collecting more looms. These aren't as hard, but they are still fairly enjoyable and are a nice break from the pretty difficult platforming. For any extra gameplay, all you pretty much do is try and rescue more Electoons you missed. To get these Electoons, you must search around the level until you hear a call for help to break them out of prison, collect enough looms until the end of the level, and even time attack mode where you have to get to a certain point in the level under a strict time limit. It's pretty much similar to collecting more stars in 3D Mario games, but without re-entering levels almost every time. A slight disappointment for me is that while the classic controllers are compatible and do their job well, the GameCube controller is sadly neglected. Sure, the button formation looks weird and the D-pad is dinky, but quite a few side-scrollers work well on it, whether they are games built for the GameCube, a few retro games, and heck, even some Wii games. I know this game came out when the new Wii model was released, but that's no excuse when there are a lot more Wiis with GameCube support. Heck, Rayman Origins doesn't even use that many buttons to begin with, and the way the controls are set, like holding down a shoulder button while using the D-pad or analog stick to run, are very comfortably placed. Also add the fact that it would be very efficient so that we wouldn't have to use more Wii remotes that consume quite a bit of batteries, something other Wii multiplayer games have done. Speaking of other playable controller methods, using either the Wii Remote sideways or a Wii Remote and nunchuck combo both work very well since, as said before, you don't have to use that many buttons, and even better, no awkwardly placed motion controls. Out of personal preference, I still feel the classic controller, especially with the Pro, play the best out of all three methods, as it feels a bit more comfortable to hold and has controls placed in very suitable spots. A final thing I want to note here is the soundtrack composed by Christophe Herol and Billy Martin, and it really suits the rather upbeat mood of the game here. I especially like the fact that they made some high-pitched voices sound very melodious, and it especially goes well with underwater stages. I also like fire in certain chase sequence, and even some quick jazz in some speedruns. Overall, Rayman Origins is a fantastic platformer thanks to its replay value and challenge. Even if you have a version of the game that lacks HD, you can still enjoy its fantastic art even then. The game is fairly cheap these days on everything it's on, so go check it out.